Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1220 of our daily content grind. It is Monday, it is time for a news roundup, and I honestly thought this was going to be a super quiet news week and we wouldn't have much to talk about. And then Hasbro shined down upon me. We got a ton of stuff that just dropped like an hour ago that we get to go over. Oh boy. Alright, so we're going to start with the big news out of Takara because they dropped these images officially announcing Masterpiece Rattrap, finishing off the original cast of Beast Wars Maximals. And he does look pretty good. He's actually got a lot of underbelly. So there's a lot of extra panels there to give him a much more full rat mode because, of course, Rattrap stood up on his hind legs a lot in Season 1 of the show. So he does need to have that smooth underbelly so you can get him into all the stances that you know him for. That probably gave them a lot more annoyance in engineering. I do have the Trans Art Rattrap, the Trans Metal one, and it does the same thing. And it's very frustrating to transform as a result. I do not like it. It looks like Takara might have handled it quite a bit better, though. I mean, it's just his normal backpack that he had in the show. This is one of those situations where they could kind of get away with having a big backpack of panels because that's just how Rattrap looked in and out of show. There we go. There's the nice image. There's the nice image. Yeah, it's looking really nice. It looks like the whiskers are sculpted on this time, at least. Yeah, he looks really spot on. Now, granted, this looks like the CGI render. I'm eager to see the actual toy. I'm eager to see the main cast together, especially how he measures up to Dinobot in scale. We got plenty of examples to show just how big this Rattrap should be based on that alone. For a while, I was thinking, like, I don't know, passing off a lot of my Masterpiece Beast Wars stuff because I missed out on Megatron. But if they're getting Rattrap, and I did get Rhinox actually pretty cheap, so yeah, I'm at least going to have the main 5, at the very least. Need to get Tigatron down the line too. Okay, so outside of that, what else do we have? Oh yeah, this Takara wasn't satisfied just releasing like the announcement for Masterpiece Rattrap. They have once again announced Adamas Machina Predaking. The last time we saw it, it was just a sketch. It was just a light. It was just an outline. And now we have this, which this looks like the gray Proto, but colored in gold. And then like all the edges highlighted. It's looking pretty magnificent. It is announced as coming soon, so we don't have anything to it beyond this teaser photo. All we know is that it will separate and the individual bots will be able to transform. How they've actually managed to do that, I have no earthly idea. Like, the legs don't look all that bulky, you know? And I don't know what Razor Claw is doing. Like, you can see, like, it's got a narrow midsection like the Power of the Primes one. But that's about it. Like, I'm genuinely not sure how this is even working as a combiner piece. I'm super excited to see exactly how this came about and what, how it looks. Yeah, soon cannot be soon enough. This looks like it's going to be phenomenal. We're still waiting for the Hot Rod. Like, the Hot Rod, the Adamas rather, that should give us some idea of, like, scale that they're going for with Adamas Machina. And I'm looking forward to it so much. Like, the Rodimus looks so good. I can't imagine this thing isn't going to be anything short of magnificent. I really want to see what they've done. So yeah, 2 huge teasers out of Takara, and they weren't done yet. Now we need to go to their Syner Gendex. They also teased their crossover with Macross 7. And originally, I thought to myself, and I said it here on the channel, how do you do any kind of crossover with Macross and not do some take on a G1 Jetfire? How do you do that? Like, it's the one thing that Hasbro and Takara would love to do and legally cannot. Well, they're not going that route, at least not for this release. This seems to be one of their Valkyrie designs merged with Optimus Prime, much more akin to the Monster Hunter collab. And all we have is this very vague gray teaser. So now we just sit back and wait and actually figure out, like, what is this going to be? It looks like it's going to be Optimus Prime as a Valkyrie, which is kind of a crazy thought. Is that really just going to be how, like T-Spark and Syner Gendex actually just, like, works? So it's just going to be Optimus Prime as all these different things? Because we got Optimus Prime kind of as Mechagodzilla, but we also have Optimus Prime as a Rathalos. We're getting Optimus Prime as a Shield Liger, or Blade Liger. I can't remember which one or the other. Point being, yeah, it just looks like it's going to be like a cross-brand of, like, Optimus Prime cosplaying other franchises, which would be kind of incredible. So again, we're going to keep an eye on that. I'm sure it's going to look incredible once it's out, because, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to put teasers out like this unless it wasn't going to be really impressive when you finally got to it. Missed an opportunity. Starscream as a Valkyrie, I think, would have been incredible too. Here's where we get into all the stuff that got announced for Hasbro, and where do we even begin with this? So, they did the official stock photos for the brand new redeco of Titan-class Trypticon, who still looks really, really good. And here we have better looks at all the modes, where the base mode is really nice. I like the super bright blue, and with no translucent plastic going all the way through the base mode. That actually looks pretty cool. There's the spaceship mode. That also looks nice. Full tilt. He doesn't really need added paint. He just looks so bare. That's actually like the thing that I took away from that Trypticon is, like, for a freebie, that little deluxe is actually really nice. It's actually a really good figure. It's nice to see that it's here. Nice to see that it's coming together. It looks really, really good. The pre-orders for this, I believe, are going up on the 14th. A lot of the stuff that you are about to see are going up for pre-order very, very soon. I would not wait on a lot of this. I'm probably going to put in, like, a provisional pre-order just in case I'm actually, just in case, like, when this thing drops, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing okay money-wise. I can just let it come in and then deal with the other Trypticon later. Because this is far and away my preferred look for Trypticon. So we will see. I might cave on it. I might cave on it. Looking good, though. This is for Age of the Primes, though. And we can continue with Age of the Primes reveals because they dropped this. This is part of the Wreck and Doom collection, continuing both the Mayhem Attack Squad and the Wreckers at the same time. Spinister and Topspin. I gave up on this Topspin ever happening. It's been so long since they did the Diaclone twin twist. And I'm like, why didn't you do his partner? Why didn't you do the sibling? Come on, give me. Because I don't know what it is. I've said it many times on this channel. And I will continue to say it because it continues to be true. That mold is so, so good. But there's something about the the twin twist version that does not work as well as Topspin. And I don't know why. I don't understand why. It's just a truth of life that mold is better than its tank-based retool. And I was just like, I like the white and blue. I like the nostalgia. I had Topspin as a kid, so I don't mind, like, that one. But, like, that red and dark blue hits different. Give me that one. And then I have to wait. And, well, like, is it still even going to be viable to make? Because that's a much higher part count, a much larger toy. Like, how long can we wait before that's just unviable for Hasbro to make a brand new run of? Apparently not very long. Apparently we had the time for it. First off, the Spinister is actually a really impressive release. Since this is a multi-pack, they can get away with whatever price point is necessary for what they want to do. So, we get Hair Splitter and Singe. He actually comes with his proper Target Masters. So, gonna look great alongside Needle Nose for your Decepticon Target Master collection. Also, they have tweaked the deco on this guy. And I do think it looks really, really nice. The darker colors really makes the pink pop really, really well. What I like about this is because we don't really have to worry about budget for a multi-pack release. We can still include the original guns that were like the stand-in, the replacements for the Target Masters, even though the Target Masters are included. So this is going to be a very well-armed Spinister. It's actually really cool of Hasbro to still include those, even though they're kind of redundant now. It's going to be cool. And then top spin. I like that they dropped the the Titan Master thing, and they're just calling it a Headmaster again. I mean, do you really call it a Titan Master? It's a Headmaster. We know it's a Headmaster. But no, this is looking fantastic. I think the mold looks fantastic in the red and the dark blue. Still, just looks really, really good. I am very eager for this. I am very much looking forward to this one coming in. That was such a pleasant surprise to me when that dropped. Like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. That made me so excited immediately. Yeah, looking forward to that, to say the least. Looks like it's going to be a fantastic 2-pack. That's not it. We also got a whole new wave of Studio Series stuff announced. Great to see. So we've seen some of this before. Some of it is brand new, however. First off, the Deluxe Class Optimus Prime we have seen before. It's cel-shaded windows. It's very animation accurate because it's based on Devastation. And that means the robot mode looks pretty good. Like, if you want a desktop deluxe-sized Optimus Prime and the toy accurate one didn't do it for you, you got this one as an option too. The downside is that truck mode though. That truck is a little bit rough. But you're mostly going to keep this one in robot mode, aren't you? I don't think that's going to be a terribly big concern for most people out there. I like that it comes with the axe too. I'm not sure about the permanently molded in effect part, but always nice to have the axe accessory included. No gun. Where is this gun? Though I know that this is Devastation, you do use the Energon axe a lot more. I will admit that. So it kind of makes sense. Packaging does look sleek. Looks good on Optimus. We got a rerun of Jazz for everyone who had a broken Jazz due to translucent plastic before, and now you have this as an alternative. I'm joking. Just another run, just in case you needed another shot to get it. Which, I know a few people who missed out, so it's not a bad thing. Wheeljack, parentheses, Q. This one is, it's nice that they're covering even the minor characters from the movies. It's Studio Series. I would expect them to get to just about everybody except for the twins. I'm not completely sold on this one. So, it's better looking than his original toy. His original toy was very kibble-laden and just, kind of unpleasant. This one has a lot of kibble going on, too, but at least it looks like it's wearing it better. My issue with this comes with, it really just kind of looks plain. All of that flat gray in the chest, that, there's so many sculpted details that are completely ignored here. That, it's just not doing it for me. It's just looking bad. This is where it's become very obvious that Hasbro's trying very hard to, they're trying very hard to avoid, metallic plastics due to, the GPS thing. The thing with the GPS is that it's the swirly plastic. It's that swirly metallic element they add to make plastic look metallic. That's what causes GPS. That's what causes it to become brittle. That could technically happen to anything with too much metallic swirl in it, in the plastic. So they're trying to avoid it or be very light with it when they can. This does look like it has a little bit of metallic element, but it is very, very light. Now, it could just be the photos here, but yeah, it doesn't come across as, metallic enough to make all those gray areas pop a little bit. It's a little bit frustrating. A customizer is going to go nuts on this toy. But right out of the box, I do think, that is not presenting well. You can see even in the, look, even in the photo, even the design photo of the character, you can see how much more detail and color is supposed to be in that chest that's just not there. Just a little patch of blue, one little dot of gold, and that's it. Yeah, I'm not convinced on this one. This one seems a little bit, this one seems like a little bit slapdash to me. But you know what? They haven't done a Studio Series Q, so fills the gap in the collection, I guess. It's one more space filler. The Ironhide we have seen. I'm not terribly thrilled with this mold. This mold is not exactly exciting for me. I am glad we are getting it as Ironhide at least. I do think the mold itself presents better as Ironhide, but I don't feel the need to grab it again. Or if I do end up grabbing it, it's going to be so I can sell off the Ratchet and just have this one instead. It's disappointing that like that series, that like the Gamer Edition really did peak with the first release, Optimus Prime, and then from then on it's just kind of petered out, and like not a lot of the releases since have been all that impressive. Oh well. I mean, I know there's gonna be people out there who love this one, but like it wasn't for me. It does weird things, especially the way it handles the shoulders, like that. I just were off-putting for me. But you know, it's it's there for the War for Cybertron fans. It's gonna complete your collections. Another run of Shockwave. Now I remember seeing this in store, and because it's Bayverse aesthetic Shockwave, I was never really pulling toward it until I found out that it was actually a kind of rare release and not a lot of people got their hands on it. So I don't know. Like, I will admit, of all the Bayverse designs, Shockwave is one of my favorites. Like, the skeletal design he has to him is, like, appropriately creepy for the character. I'm also glad he still comes with all the weird accessories. The the parachuting, human, brains and wheelie, because they're the only way of getting Studio Series versions of those characters. I don't know. For $55, I don't know if it's one I would actually go for. If this one gets, like, overproduced for some reason and I end up finding it on clearance, then I might grab it. But good for everyone who's actually missed out on it, because I know a lot of people are, like, really upset they couldn't get their hands on it. So you got another shot. And here's the other big reveal of this batch. Optimus Prime from Age of Extinction. So they're finally touching the last two movies, which they have been very, very sporadic with. Most of Studio Series movie efforts have been geared toward the first three, the ones that are like the more nostalgic and the more popular ones, and then they've been avoiding the last two of the Bayverse series. And I think that's a large part because the last run of figures they did pretty much were in line with Studio Series stuff, so at the time it probably wasn't necessary, but Studio Series has been around a long time now. These movies have some age on them. Good of them to actually start putting some effort into getting those casts out. Okay. One, I think it has the same gray plastic problem. There's a lot of design and detail in that chest that really just does not seem to be getting the attention it needs. But also, I acknowledge that this design is physically impossible. I do know there is a third-party Optimus Prime out there that shares this design and manages to transform, but it's one of those, it's so complex in order to make it work that I don't think the toy is fun anymore. In order to get this thing to be a fun figure to mess with, not something you're not going to devote an afternoon to transforming, as well as the fact that it's at retail level, then I don't think this level of kibble across the robot mode and hiding behind the legs, hanging off the back, I don't think this is a surprise. I do see a lot of extra hinges. I do see some paneling around the chest that makes me think this has one of those really nice inside-out transformations. I would love for that to be the case, because those are actually really fun and engaging. I don't know if that's going to make me pick this up, because again, Bayverse designs just don't last very long in my house, in my collection. But it does look like they've given their best shot to making a design work that really physically shouldn't be able to work. God, the Studio Series box is so big at the leader class. Let's look at Shockwaves again. Shockwave fills it out nicely. Like the size of these boxes is specifically for Shockwave. Yeah, and then everyone else just kind of floats in the middle. This is one where like I want to hear a review. When someone else gets it in hand first, and then they go, oh, wow, this is incredible, I might actually give it a thought. I might. But yeah, that's a ton of stuff on the way. Like, really cool announcements, too. And then they weren't done, because they did do the promised part 2 of the behind-the-scenes for Superion, so we get to look a little bit more at photos for it, and get a little bit of behind-the-scenes. It's mostly fluff and hype filler, so nothing too thrilling. but the new photos are nice. They doubled up on the aerial bots to actually show them. It does look like, yeah, like, yes, you're not going to have the knees if you do it, but you can just rotate the legs around to have the planes forward if you like that look better. And okay, it looks nice and stable. I give it that too. The biggest takeaway to the photos is that they are swappable with Menasor. So you can actually have a combiner war aspect to it. So given the fact that they managed to make a base mode and the attachment in vehicle mode for that combiner frame, and then also make sure that the combiner frame was swappable with Menasor, so you could actually do, you know, like a semblance of Scramble City combining. I think that makes this toy even more impressive. I think that is actually a really cool thing that toy can actually pull that off. Also, Mark, I see what you're doing there with 3 very visible G2 Stunticons and a 4th one obscured. That should be Wild Rider, and it looks like it is Wild Rider, but it looks like it's G1 style. G2 would be bright yellow. But yeah, I know what you're. See what you're doing. Finish them off. Finish them off, Mark. We want the rest, Mark. Yeah, and then the rest. Little details. Okay, like hiding an Autobot symbol inside the tail fins transformation. Okay, that's cute. That's kind of cute. If you're wondering about the gray around the thighs, that was suggested by Hasui-san at Takara to prevent any scraping during transformation on that gold. So that's why his legs look like they've got little pistons in them, which is not a bad idea for the sake of protecting the toy. Yeah, these two just look good together. Like just seeing 2 big Sunbow style combiners together. Like, okay, I kind of get why they're gone for this. I like this. I like this a lot. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the toy. I'm looking forward to it a lot. All right, let's get into the smaller stuff to close out the news roundup. For starters, Hasbro Pulse Asia is shutting down, which is unfortunate. But, you know, and I don't want anyone to panic, going like, oh, no, Hasbro in even worse trouble. Hasbro Asia is like almost a completely separate company. It's like Bandai America and Bandai Japan. It does ultimately affect Hasbro, but not as much as you think. It really just means that just like the shop isn't doing well in that area, which may as well just mean that, you know, people prefer to buy locally in Asia. We're not going to get into any speculation beyond that. It's just worth noting for anyone out there in Asia who might be dependent on Pulse. The biggest takeaway to this is that fans in Asia are going to have a really hard time getting any future HasLabs. That's the big concern right now. So I'm hopeful that that gets figured out quickly. All right, Unit Square has announced a brand new bust from their bust generation line. This is a repaint of their Optimus, so it is Nemesis Prime. This is a mechanic bust, which means it does have a lot of moving parts to it. So you can see like the head opening up, for instance. The chest also opens up because of course it does. It has to show off the matrix, or what counts for a matrix. It might just be a spark core here because it's Nemesis. It's a nice looking bust though. It's always weird to me, like busts that like cut the arms off like that. Like it just kind of looks like you've like saved his like half living torso. But for a Nemesis Prime fan out there, it is pretty good looking. So I am going to I'm gonna leave it at that. You know, I'm not a statue collector, so I don't pretend to know what I am talking about. But it does look cool. I'll give it that much. Wing Fighter announced a collab with Transformers. Do you know what Wing Fighter is? Neither do I. I feel like this is like that one Battleship game that also collabed with Transformers. It's like random mobile game you've never heard of is getting Transformers as a limited event. I mean, it looks fine. You know, this is apparently like, if you remember like those arcade style like shoot 'em up games. So like your like old school fans would be like R-Type, or Ikaruga, games like that. You know, so it's one of those, which apparently now you can just fly around as Optimus Prime in it, or Megatron with a brand new jet mode. You can fight off Devastator, you can fight Unicron. So that alone is actually kind of cool. I do like these style of games, so I might actually pick this up for the collab. Because like I actually do, I do kind of enjoy that kind of shoot 'em up genre, and it wouldn't be a bad thing to have on a phone. This is like a random game to play. Armada as well as Mudflap in Cybertron. For a lot of other fans, you'll also know him as Cell from Dragon Ball Z, among a myriad of other roles that we could spend all day talking about. So I just want to mention that here at the end. I hate to end off on a sad note, but I didn't want it to go unmentioned. So Dale, thank you very much for everything you did for our fandom. Thank you for voicing part of everyone's childhoods. We always appreciate that. Hope you're resting well, and my best to all of his friends, family, fans. I'm terrible at eulogizing, but thank you very much, Dale. And thank you everyone for watching this week's News Roundup. So thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next time. You've been waiting a long time, haven't you? But the wait's almost over. You're about to meet the brightest star in the universe. We're going to make an impact.